Welcome, I'm Joyce Anderson, and we're all here to tell you about a very special fundraising event, Step Into Fashion, on April 2nd. I'd like to introduce Shannon Brady with Palo Alto Medical Clinic, Harriet Manus, who is our chair and creator of the event, and her assistant, Sally Sukovich. Shannon?
Hi, I'm Shannon Brady, the Philanthropy Director from Sutter Health's Palo Alto Medical Foundation and Sutter Maternity and Surgery Center. Each year, more than 900 patients are diagnosed with cancer. This year's Step Into Fashion will help support our cancer care programs.
Harriet?
I'm here to remind you to come to our Step Into Fashion show. We have 30 fabulous designers that will come from all over California, so you can shop to your heart's content on April the 2nd at the Elks Lodge.
I'm Harriet's right-hand gal, and I'm also a member of Pam's Ambassadors Club.
So now we are going to meet and talk to 7 awesome fashion and jewelry designers and a very special fashion stylist. So don't go away. I want to introduce these 3 beautiful designers. We have Giselle Stepetin, and we have Mary Lou Machete, and Natasha Foco. Welcome, ladies. You all brought such gorgeous, gorgeous designs today. Giselle, let's start with you. And some of your designs have been on the red carpet, is that correct?
They have, yeah.
And tell me about how you got started. You know, I know we wanted to talk about some of your accomplishments, but the dresses that you brought, and for instance, are you wearing one of your designs?
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, I like making sophisticated, whimsical clothing. I got started years ago, and I started with weaving, with making my own fabric, so I still like to manipulate fabric, and I believe I started because I love tactile experience. I love to touch things, and this was like the best way for me to figure out a way to be able to touch every day. So I started as a weaver, buying yarns and making fabric, and then I went to school for pattern making, and just loved the process of designing things for the body, and I love dressing women. So
it's beautiful. So tell us about the design of the vest that you have next to you.
I love incorporating things together, different materials, so that things are featured, like in little bits. So this is some hand-painted silk material, and I've tried to figure out how to do it to showcase it using black velvet. I do the same thing in other materials. This one is rayon lycra, so it's a more daytime piece, but it's...
Is this just a top? It's beautiful.
Yeah. And I use many, many different materials, both natural fibers and not natural fibers. So I just love using everything. I love figuring out how to make the pattern work with different materials.
Well, you have velvet, and you have these beautiful ribbon designs for the shoulder. Tell us about this piece that you brought here. Can we just hold this up and put this over here?
This is, I tried to bring different sorts of things to show. So this is like a really whimsical piece. This is called Wonderland, after Alice. And I do it in different materials, but I figured out a way for the garment to stand away from a woman's hips, because sometimes people don't want their hips skimmed. Sometimes yes, sometimes no. But I thought it'd be fun to do this based upon clothing made years and years ago, from the 1800s, you know, that stood away.
Sure.
So this is my way to modernize it and make it super fun. So
awesome. And where are you located?
I just moved from San Francisco to Oakland.
Oh, you did?
So
okay.
yeah, I've been in San Francisco for over 30 years, 34 years, and I just moved to Oakland.
And
so.
You're going to bring lots of pieces to the design showcase.
Lots of different materials.
It's going to be wonderful, and they'll be able to purchase some of these beautiful things.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you for bringing these pieces and showing our viewers. So, Mary Lou, tell us about your design. You're a weaver?
Well, I was a weaver, but first, before you weave, you have to learn to spin. And that's exactly what I started out doing, was spinning. And then what are you going to do with a pile of wool? You're going to make a blanket or a scarf or other materials. And so that's basically what I did. I learned to weave. And then I began to find out there was tours that you could take for different experiences related to textiles, and I went to New Zealand. And that's where I was introduced to felt making. And that intrigued me completely because it was so spontaneous and it was so colorful, and it was that sort of a wild woman look. And I thought, gee, that's me. And so I came home from that experience and found a mentor teacher in Polly Sterling, and was able to study with her a few times, and I just kept on going, and so here I am today.
So show our viewers a little piece. Hold that piece up because it's so unique.
So this is a beautiful piece. It's made with wool and silk, both natural fibers, and it's fused. So it's creating, when you're making this felt, Nuno felt, you are combining the materials to make new fabric, and that's what Nuno means. And so, you know, it's playful and it's creative, and you can just make any shape you like, combining these materials. So you can use cottons also, and other synthetic fabrics. And this is an example of a piece that has got a number of fabrics that are combined in a great big piece.
Beautiful shawl.
And then you can bead it, you can over dye it, you can paint it, you could stamp it, you can create a completely new look with the fabric you've done.
That's beautiful.
You can, and this piece is an example of you know, having dyed the piece first and then created a textural combination with the wool.
Wow, amazing. And you also, the necklace you're wearing is made out of fabric.
It is. It's Nuno felt, and they're called Nuno beads. And they are, you know, quite an attention getter because they're very unique and very different.
Right. And the vest that you're wearing, is that what kind of material?
Botanically printed on wool ponte fabric.
Beautiful.
And so taking the natural environment around you and creating pattern on fabric. So that's sort of a trending new look.
Right.
And I thought, well, I'm not going to get left behind, so I might as well learn to do that too. And it's really fun. We have a lot of natural product right here in our community to choose from.
Really?
To stamp and make these, you know, beautiful prints.
Very soft and subtle. And so where are you located?
I live in Aptos.
Oh, you do?
Yes, I do. Right here in the community.
You've taught, Giselle, haven't you? Your students, you've mentored students.
I have.
So that's really important for people to see what they can do.
Yes, and I have done some teaching too. I've taught at Carrillo College, and I've done, you know, some of our local art work here in fashion art in 2012. So some gallery shows, and it's been a lot of fun.
Good. Not only talented, but teaching is really important. Natasha Fonko, look at your beautiful silk designs that you have. Tell us about your journey and how you created these beautiful silk pieces.
My journey started many years ago. I lived in Moscow, Russia, and as a young girl, I just couldn't find any interesting clothes. The clothes was horrible in Russia, brown uniform. So the desire was just to, you know, look different and create something for myself. I graduated Art Academy in Moscow, so I have a formal art education, and I was working mainly on fine art pieces. And then when I came to America about 25 years ago, I discovered, first of all, was plenty of supplies, materials to work on, and big interest in wearable. So what I'm wearing here, I call it Tree of Life. It's painted, hand-painted on silk chiffon. And I just love silk chiffon. It's so beautiful. Yeah, this is my feather design. And here is Gustav Klimt. Really love Gustav Klimt. I can't resist to use his work for inspiration. So it's like a, you know, tunic. And
awesome.
Here I experiment also. I like to experiment with different fabrics. This is kind of new for me. I've been
love
working
that.
for
Yeah,
a year
sort of an
on silk
overpiece.
organza. Yeah.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
It has, I think it just has great shape as a fabric. It kind of keeps that interesting
Natasha,
shape.
how long does it take you to make a piece like that? I mean, it's work intensive.
I would say I work myself a day on that design, and then it has to be steamed, so all these pieces can be washed, of course.
Oh, right.
And then my seamstress puts it together. So it's a lot of work.
A lot of work. Well, we're
And
going to
here's
also
a
have
little
you.
skirt here,
Oh, beautiful. Oh, all right.
also with feathers.
Oh, and look at that design. That's beautiful.
So,
Look
you know,
at that.
designs divide into like contemporary, which are inspired by my favorite contemporary artists such as Miro, Kandinsky,
Kandinsky, right.
and some, traditional sand leaves and things like that.
Beautiful. To have that on an outfit or a dress is very unique. Very, very beautiful. So, and where are you located?
I'm in San Francisco.
In San Francisco. That's right. You mentioned before you came down from San Francisco. And you have a studio there, or?
I have a studio.
So
I
a
do
studio.
a lot of shows. I also teach.
And you're also a teacher.
Of course.
Wonderful. Yeah. So, how many? What do you teach your students? How to do the
actually,
design?
My beginner students do a scarf during
Right.
the workshop, and also I teach advanced students who do fine art pieces. The
Fine art
paintings.
pieces.
Yeah.
Gorgeous, gorgeous. Next thing, Smithsonian.
That's right.
That's a goal. That's a goal.
Absolutely.
That's awesome. Well, we look forward to seeing all of you at the Step Into Fashion event. It's going to be awesome. So nice to have you all here, and the viewers to be able to see your beautiful designs, and all of you lovely teachers and designers. We're happy to have you here. Thank you. We have a handbag designer, Gail Roche. Billet. And she's our amazing jewelry designer. She's going to tell you about some of her pieces she brought today. And Cynthia Chow, who is our clothing designer. Ladies, welcome.
Thank you.
And you're all going to be featured at the Step Into Fashion event on April 2nd, so people will be able to see you there and talk to you and get to know you better.
Absolutely.
So first, Gail, tell me a little bit about your handbags are beautiful and your different designs that you have here. How did you start?
We started off as San Francisco street artists. We were one of the first people to have a street artist license in San Francisco. Used to go down to Union Square and put our stuff out for the tourists. Had a Berkeley license, and then one day in 1979, how many years ago was that? We went to the American Craft Council show, and we found another whole world of craft. Beautiful world with booths and glass and wood, and it just inspired us to make better things, the perfect bag maybe sometime, and we just kept going from there and evolving.
Well, your bags do look perfect now. Look at the color and the design of this, and very functional, I can see.
One of our staple colors, but in a brand new shape, a little designer shape. But I want to tell you about this bag, because this bag is 39 years old. It's our first bag we ever made. We made it in other colors. We now have a brand new print. And we try to make timeless styles that you can wear every day, that will last because they're functional and wearable, but also something you can put in your closet and take out in 2 or 3 years and wear to a special event or something like that. So we want things that are durable, organized, but also will carry you through many, many years that the bags last.
Well, something I don't notice that you didn't probably realize, but I can carry my iPhone in this handbag.
Absolutely. And your
Probably
keys,
didn't
your
know
wallet,
about
and your
that.
lipstick.
Yes, everything can fit. The length of it and everything is perfect.
But then if you have to carry the rest of the world,
You've got a bigger bag.
you have a bigger bag.
Beautiful work, beautiful work. Bill, tell us about your designs and your jewelry, your beautiful pieces that you brought here.
I make this jewelry out of sterling and gold. I use 22 karat gold and sterling silver. And I not only design them, but I also make them. And my style tends to be a little bit bigger, although I am working on some more fragile feminine pieces. But overall, I have I call it Xeno warrior wear. You protect yourself against the world to a certain extent. I love textures. So pretty much everything that I do has some sort of a texture to it, and often I use materials that I find in my surrounding field that would be considered, by all means, garbage. It's something that has had a life before, and I'm using it to then texture metals with it.
Right.
So.
Well, I was reading a little bit about your history. You're from Germany, is that correct? And your father was an engineer.
Correct.
So you learned how to work with metals through him?
He actually, no, he didn't teach me how to work with metals, but he gave me a keen appreciation for quality made goods that hold up for a long time. And his affection towards well-made products was evident in everything he purchased for himself and for the family. But I actually went to school. I went through a program in a school called Staatliche Zeichenakademie Hanau, and that is a 4-year program, and I got a degree in goldsmithing and design.
And now you're in California, and where in California are you located?
I am residing in Salinas.
Perfect. So people, be sure to check out their designs. And I forgot to go back. Where are you located?
I'm from Watsonville.
All right, that's close. We'll love you without everybody be able to. So you'll be able to tell everybody where they can find you.
Yes.
Cynthia, welcome. And
Thank you.
you brought one of your designs. You're wearing one of your designs.
Yes.
How long ago did you start in design?
I've been in this business for about 35 years. It started out as workout clothes when the aerobics was really big, but it evolved into fashion because that's something that I always love. But I graduated in psychology. Everything I do is self-taught. I did not have formal training in clothing, but because I have a passion for it, and it just grew into a business, and I sell most of my clothing in boutiques nationwide. So
this is beautiful. I noticed that do you make jackets, and what is this made out of? Is it felt?
this is wool.
Wool.
This is 100% wool, yes. And most of my work is artsy, art to wear. It had a detail oriented, and I want to inspire the person wearing my clothes and reflecting the person wearing it. So it's just something exciting.
The pockets
and
are
fresh.
very unusual.
Yes.
I love the pockets.
Yeah. My thing is always big pockets and everything into pockets.
And the design you're wearing now, is that a silk top?
It is a cotton, 100% cotton,
That's
yes.
very
Most
attractive.
of the fibers that I use are natural fibers.
And where are you located?
Located in San Francisco.
In San Francisco.
Yeah, we're one of the few that are still sewing our own clothes.
And you're going to have a lot of pieces to show at the fashion
Yes,
event.
yes,
You'll have a booth
yes.
there. All of you will have booths there. So you'll be able to bring a lot of pieces. And then you're also selling clothes the day of the show, correct?
Right.
And then I know that a percentage of it is going to go to help Palo Alto Medical Cancer Foundation. So that's so awesome that all of you are helping out and donating your time. Well, thank you, ladies, all of you. I look forward to seeing you at your booths. And to our viewers out there, be sure to check it out. See you on the 2nd. Well, I'm very excited to introduce Elise Parsons, who is a talented and multifaceted and author, image consultant, and I knew you years ago in Saratoga, but it's so good to see you here, and I know you are going to be doing a image consulting at the fashion event on April 2nd.
I've written 7 books on style, and they use the books at universities all over the world, but I've been really pleased that FIT in New York has them for all their classes. And in fact, Tim Gunn, even in his class, used part of the books. Ooh. So the newest one is called Style Source, and basically—
I just wanted to show this. This is their newest book out, and I just wanted you to get a shot of that. It's a beautiful.
Thank you.
I love the colors
in
the cover.
And so basically, I developed a company called Universal Style International, and it talks about 7 universal styles. And each style has a certain message that it gives, and it has a certain power. And I'm very interested in people being able to express themselves with a style that is authentic to who they are. And so each of these styles has a certain colors that are indigenous to the style. There are certain lines in design, certain fabrics that you use. And in the course of a lifetime, we'll probably use all 7 styles. But we seem to have one style that's sort of innate with us. It's been with us since we were a child. And I think the elements that have to do with style really are your personality, your values and goals, which you think are important, And then your lifestyle, where do you spend your time and what do you do? And you want the style to mirror all of those things, the best part of you. And it's not just the outer expression, the clothes we have, and clothes, of course, are the biggest nonverbal communicator that people have, but it's also the inner essence. Who are you inside?
So the one style that most people will have throughout their lifetime, can you sort of describe that, what that would be?
That's great, thank you. Yes, there's three what I call classic styles, and they are sporty, traditional, and elegant. And so you need to choose one of those three. And again, it's kind of an inside game where you think, okay, sporty, you want lots of options, you want life to be fun and exciting and adventuresome. And so is that your style? Then there's traditional, and traditional people are very practical, and they are time-oriented, they are organized, and they want their clothes to reflect that. And then there's the elegant person, and that happens to be what I am, and they're very meticulous, and they go into a lot of detail, and sometimes they're a nightmare for when people go shopping because they're so fussy. Oh, this isn't fitting right, and this isn't right. And so those are the three. None of them are better than the other, and some people are actually, they may have two of those styles as their basis.
Sure. You're the person that they can go to and learn about image consulting. Image is so important. You know, I read one time, you know, people will evaluate you when you walk into a room. Within the first, 20 seconds, 20 or 30 seconds,
30 seconds,
you get the impression of, people form their impression of you. So clothes make a difference, and also posturing, you know, how you walk and hold your carriage is really important. I noticed this beautiful outfit you have on. Now this is a dress, and tell me some of the tips, because I noticed a belt, and I think it's so important. Belts help you define your waist, and also remind you to watch your weight.
Well, both of those things,
which are
absolutely.
Healthy and attractive.
Exactly. And so this outfit is a designer outfit, because I really subscribe to people buying designer clothes, and they're not, sometimes people think they're really expensive, but they're very individual.
Sure.
So anyway.
Can you stand up and just show, I think you can get a full shot.
Can you?
And she's going to just show you one thing right here.
Okay. So this belt that you referred to, Joyce, is actually, it came with the coat in the back.
Right.
But I am somebody, one of my styles happens to be alluring, and even though I'm now in my 70s, I still like the clothes to mirror my look.
Right.
And so I took the belt off, had them take it off the back, and we put it into the front. So I loved the dress, but I realized I didn't particularly love my arms now that I'm in my 70s. So then I got this sheer underlayer, and it covers up the arms. It's not obvious at the top neckline, and I am advising a lot of stylists, and I noticed they're doing this in the store, because in America, our baby boomers are getting older left and right, and even if they're very athletic, the arms, the skin, and the texture. So this is a very easy way to be able to wear a sleeveless dress.
You also do image consulting for Nordstrom's, is that correct?
Exactly. Nordstrom was my client for about 7 years, and we put on fashion shows called Nordstrom and Universal Style, Celebrate Women Through the Decades. I'm really keen on women feeling good as we go through our different decades. In fact, I just completed a 5-year research project. And I interviewed people from 20, and the oldest person I interviewed was 102.
Oh, wow.
And it's, so what happens in the different decades, and how do you feel, and how can the clothing continue to express you in a wonderful way that makes you feel good about yourself?
Well, I invite everybody to come to the event and be sure to sign up for your two classes. Wonderful. So good to see you, so happy, and you look amazing. So
thank you, and so do you.
Thank you. Well, I want to introduce to you, we have a very beautiful and exciting jewelry designer, and it's JoJo Singh. Welcome.
Thank you.
So glad you're here, and I know we want to ask you, your designs are beautiful, and but we want to also mention Harriet. Thank you. You know, we want to thank for you opening up your beautiful home. And it's so gorgeous, and you've accommodated everybody so well, and we actually have torn it apart a little bit, but we'll get it all back together before the end of the day. But thank you so much. You're so gracious, and you give so much to the community, and we just want to say that, you know, without you, this would not have happened. So you're creating, you know, a showcase for all these designers, and you're also raising money for Palo Alto Medical Foundation, which is really important. So thank you for being you, Harriet.
Welcome.
Jojo, you have such an illustrious past. Tell us a little bit about your heritage.
Well, my grandfather, my maternal grandfather, was a ruler. We called them Maharajas, which is like a king of a northern state in India. So his name was Maharaja Bhupinder Singh. He lived in the early 20th century, and he loved jewelry. Like he would take a case of jewels. He took a case of jewels in the early 1920s to Cartier and said, you know, make my crown jewels.
Oh.
And they were wonderful pieces. One is world famous. It's a 1,000-carat necklace called the Patiala necklace, which Cartier has acquired back again, and it goes on display all around the world in exhibitions. And I was very fortunate because it came to San Francisco about 4 years ago.
Wow.
So I'm surprised Elizabeth Taylor didn't get it from you.
People asked me where I had learned to design, and I really had not learned it anywhere. It was something that was coming very naturally. And I love gemstones. And I believe in the vibrations of stones, and I just love them. So I use them very naturally.
Talking about your paternal grandfather, did you inherit any pieces, or do you have any pieces of his that you wear?
I do. I got them through my mother, and I do wear them sometimes, but most of the time they lie in the locker. And you know, that's why I wanted to produce jewelry which looked a little bit more opulent and elaborate. But you know, I use semi-precious stones, and I set it in sterling silver instead of gold, so that everyone could buy it.
These are beautiful. Tell us about the pieces that you're displayed right here. They're
so
gorgeous.
Here is one of my more opulent pieces. It's a bib necklace, which is in labradorite, which comes from Madagascar, and dark blue topaz, which is called London blue topaz.
Beautiful. And
this is rutilated quartz, so it's these are all handcrafted pieces. This is how you wear it.
Beautiful.
And it's you know, it's fairly heavy, but it's very elaborate, and it's a statement piece. But I also do very simple pieces. So I'll do little earrings that will show a gemstone, and they're very light to wear and also very inexpensive. So
Really
my
pretty.
pieces range from $40 to $4,000. It all depends on.
Now, where are you located?
So we don't have a store, but we supply stores. We are based in East Bay, but we supply stores and museums. So currently the Asian Art Museum is carrying it, and we hope that the DeYoung is going to carry it in April.
Oh, good.
And the Getty carries it in Los Angeles in both their stores. And then we have stores in different areas like Shady Lane in Menlo Park, and the Gallery of Jewels in San Francisco.
We are so excited, I mean, to be able to talk to you and tell the viewers all about your jewelry. And they can come and meet you in person and buy your jewelry at the event on
April the 2nd.
April 2nd at the Elks Club, 30 designers. And again, thank you so much for Harriet, thank you so much.
Thank you.
So we'll see everybody at the Designer Showcase, April 2nd. We want to thank everybody, and Harriet, thank you. It was a wonderful day. It was going to be a wonderful event. I want to thank all the amazing designers and our stylists. So remember, step into fashion, April 2nd. Please join us.